How you doing all? Welcome back to NRL Fantasy Analysis and Draftstars here. We're just going to be having a look at a review for the week, and then we'll go through that last game with the Eels and the Tigers and go through my selections there. So we'll start with the Raiders and the Cowboys game, and my picks went fairly solid this week. I spoke about Val Holmes being a potentially good option at that cheaper price point. He was good. Cotter was a little bit lower than what we would have hoped. We spoke about Starling being a great option. Unfortunately, my team here, I wasn't able to fit him in, but he was one of the top guys that we were talking about. Taumalolo came in and did a great job there with 65. Spoke about Gilbert being a lighter option as well, and he also went well. So majority of the picks there did great. If you went for the Hylam Lukey option after he got the start, then he ended up being a great option there for your squad. So well done to Fish in the free one here. I actually entered into a couple of the paid ones this week, so you'll be able to see a few decent results actually. A sneaky one up there, but we'll get to that one in a second. So we'll go through the Bunnies and the Bulldogs there to kick off the second game of the week. And again, my teams are getting a lot better, just working out this game a little bit more, getting more comfortable with the scoring system again, with it being different to what the current NRL fantasy scoring system is. So that's that there, but another 88th position here with Josh Snap winning this one, so well done to them. Campbell Graham was okay. I spoke about Lockie Ilias being a very good option this week, and he didn't happen to score as well as we would have hoped. Game was a little bit clunky for them. Him and Cody Walker didn't play as well as we would have hoped. His kicking was down compared to last week, for example, so it just didn't work out perfectly. Blake Taff went okay without being spectacular, and if you jumped on the Matty Duffy bandwagon after how he played last week, then you were rewarded with a 40 there. And obviously, picking Damien Cook there would have been a very, very good opportunity or option for you this week, getting the 3 tries. So obviously did pick him up there. Well done to Josh Snap. Cam Murray being close to must-have, and also Maxi King I spoke about. So they worked out well, and if you utilise those players and got a little bit lucky with the Dufties and David Satola and Alex Johnson had big games, for example, then you perform really well. So that's those first 2 games of the week. We'll move to the Panthers and the Broncos. So this one here, I actually end up winning the comp in the free one. So this is what spurred me on to actually get back into a few of the paid ones. I did it for the first 3 rounds, but just didn't want to show it too much on here with how I'm going. But having won this comp, I thought that would be worth it enough for me to jump in and play a couple of the paid ones. But yeah, that was that. So I won the beautiful $2.50 in this game. Had just all my players doing really well. Some of my decided to go a bit cheap in the forwards with Scotty Sorensen, who's been coming on and getting good minutes and scoring a nice PPM, getting around that 30 to 40 in the points. And he managed to get a try and have an awesome PPM along with Spencer Leniu, who again has that upside with try scoring potentially, and then has some lower games in there. So got pretty lucky with them. Hetherington kind of held his own. Just still didn't get the minutes that we would have expected. Katoni Sags, if you went with him after an awesome week last week, then that was great. Cleary was dominant again. So if you had a selection of all them and Adam Reynolds, who I spoke about as being super consistent in that 50 to 60 mark, then you did really well. So I picked up the $2.50 on that one, which was really cool for the Panthers and the Broncos there. I then had a go at the Eagles and the Titans. This was my worst one of the week in terms of my selections as well. So I went on to Delash in this league for winning that one. But Coolars being a cheaper option didn't score spectacularly. DCE did his thing. For Feeder I spoke about, could he go back to back and do really well again? And he managed to do that with a 78, so he was good. Guys like Paseka continuing to do work off the bench. He was really, really good. Andrew Davey a little bit lower than we would have hoped, and then it was just who do I go in that cheaper mark down below? I went for Kevy, and he didn't perform as well as we would have hoped. Guys like Ola Kawatu, if you picked up him, he's been someone who's been up and down, really, really high scores, and then the odd low one, so he was great. And this person, he went for Kieran Foran, which was interesting, and hasn't been scoring well, but managed to get a little bit lucky on that one. So they're well done to Delash in that competition. And guys, just let me know along the way how you went on all these. So this one, the Storm and the Sharks, I actually decided to play in the $15 paid comp. It actually came third, so a really, really good effort for myself in that one. I was pretty happy with that. After not being able to win any of these ever before, so to come out and get a third, which is really good. So I snuck just above Go You Good Thing, who had 4 teams in there, so well done to those guys. But in terms of, we'll compare this up against Billy Mack, so 20 points ahead of me. as well. So yeah, the Ronaldo and Talakai left edge was something that we spoke about. Harry Grant, I said there was probably a little bit better value rather than the Munsters and stuff. And yeah, as well as Cammy played. Yeah, this was the way to go. I think in this one, obviously you could have gone for Nico Hines as well, but just a little bit cheaper. Harry Grant was the man. He happened to score a try. Yeah, Trent Leoro didn't go as good as we would have hoped. He got the 80 minutes, and that was a really low score for him in those minutes. So yeah, could have gone even a lot better if he managed to score how we would have thought, somewhere in the 40s. So Teague Wilton was okay. Rudolph was okay as well. So even with those two, and McInnes getting a 45 being a starter, we still managed to pick up a third. So that was really cool. If you went for Olam, that was kind of the way to go. Joshie King didn't score as good as we would have hoped, but that was that. So really good effort from myself, and you know, it's nice to see you get a couple of those wins there for sure. And in the last couple of games, we had the Roosters Warriors, so I played that one as well, and came 102nd in that one and 56 in the free. I think I changed my selections a little bit in that one. So with this one here, you know, Daniel Tupou continuing to do his thing there with 45, and I went for Joey Manu as well, who just unfortunately didn't get any of the attacking stats he's been getting lately. Sammy Walker I spoke about as being a cheaper option and probably the one to go for. So if you went for that one, it worked out nicely at 55 points there, and getting him at a cheaper price point was really nice. Angus Crichton got moved back in the starting side, so I went with him. Curran was the other option at that high price point that I decided to go with, and 60 or 65 would have been nice from him, what we're looking for. Bailey Stirinen played some big minutes and got the 29, so again, hoping for about 35-40, but spoke about him briefly. And going expensive again with Teddy was probably not the way to go. Reece Walsh was okay. So yeah, Tupanua always like a decent option to get around that 40 for you as well. So yeah, it wasn't my perfect game, but still managed to get in the money on that one, and I hope you guys did also. And then Dragons Knights. So this one I came 66 out of the 767 players. For a $36 win on that one, which was good. So I played two different ones in this one. So one not so good, 268, and the first one I put together with the selections that I gave to you guys came 66. So that was nice, but we'll go up against the winner again. So well done to Hayes Dogs for winning their over $1,000 prize there. So I started with Ponga this week, and to get 87 was perfect. So he picked up over 100 in NRL Fantasy with all the offloads, but 87 here on Draftstars. So good to take that opportunity against a lesser side, let's be honest, than he has been playing recently in the Dragons here, and he performed really well. Matt Fagai went great as well, 53, so you got him in that 11,000 mark. Whether you went for Ben Hunt, Chris Randall, something like that, then you got over a 50-point effort there for them. Obviously, Randall was probably the better option there, and you could go someone a little bit different in the flex, but that was that. Brody Jones doing his job with 43 at that 11,000 price point. Jaden Sewer's the one I went a little bit outside the box for. He's been getting around that 39 to 40, and then the odd big score like last week. So Sewer was a little bit underwhelming, but Curdy Mann's always a decent option. He was okay. We spoke about Randall in that one as well, and then Frizz was the other one. I just didn't have the money to spend up on Frizz on this one. And then Sully was dominant on that left side as well. So the left side, strong side, with Fagai and Sully was the way to go to win this one. So well done, Hayes Dog. And we'll jump into the lobby to go through my potential selections right now. I've popped in a team already for the Eels and the Tigers. And I won't be able to look at that actually. Let's get to my teams and have a look at that one there as well. All right. So that's where we're going, and edit that one so you can have a little look. All right, click that one, continue. All right, so we jump in. That's my selections currently. So in the outside back, so I just decided to go a little bit lighter so I could spend a little bit more money elsewhere. We had the Niokore, who always plays really well on in the centers there. We got Penasini, I think, who's going to have a dominant game on the left edge. So I think those two are the other guys to go for. And I've also gone for Tom Opacek in the flex as well. So I think he could have a good game also. So all the outside backs for the Eels, I'm expecting a good game for them. In the halves, I went for the Mitch Moses call there at 24K. I just think that he's going to be the one to get all the tries in this game. Dylan Brown might do well also, but I think spend that little bit extra cash to get Moses was the way to go. In the forwards, I went for the Madison off Ngawe and Tuolangi. I think Tui's pretty cheap for the value they're going to get out of him. Joe's been averaging really well at that cheaper price point, and then I went for Madison as the only kind of available player I had left. Nathan Brown and Isaiah Papali'i were the guys I really wanted as well, but just spending the money on Moses, I think that this is the way to go, and this is the way I'll be going tonight. So let me know what you think about this one. I'm probably going to roll with this, obviously pending late team lists, and that'll be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that, got a lot out of it, and you're improving every week like my tips are as well. So really happy with how I'm going with the picks there, and I hope that's benefiting you guys that are watching these videos as well. So that's that for this video, guys. Hope you had fun and enjoy the rest of the weekend. See you later.